Leon and Kate here from Treehouse Village. This video in our series is all about the development process. So Treehouse Village is not a conventional type of development because we're not a conventional developer. So Kate and I, our family is one of a group of households that is working together to develop this housing collaboratively. What that means is that we're actually not paying developer fees to a developer to build this for us, and therefore there's no profit motive in the project. Instead, we are building the community at cost and coordinating the development work ourselves. This is a unique process, but one that is tried and tested for hundreds of co-housing communities around North America. And so we're really standing on the shoulders of giants in terms of not reinventing the wheel on this process. We're using existing practices that have been used many times, and we've surrounded ourselves with professionals who understand the development process and who are guiding us through this effectively. We are hoping to actually live in the community together as a family, as with the other families that we're doing this with. And so we are also learning together as a community how to do this process well. We have studied the process extensively. We've read books. We've visited other co-housing communities around Canada. And we are also doing this in Atlantic Canada to be the first co-housing community that hopefully is completed in the next period of time. So just a few words about the development process. So our project launched publicly in 2018 in what we call the formation stage, where we formed the initial group of households that came together to develop the project. In 2019, we purchased the wonderful property that you've just heard about, and we also started the design process by bringing on the architectural team and other designers that are working to guide our community through this process. That will lead to the start of construction in 2020, which is also the beginning of our policy phase, which is where we work together on a lot more of the kind of the more refined and nitty-gritty aspects of living together and coming up with things such as, living together, meals, pets, things like that. So that will happen hand in hand with the construction phase of the project. And we anticipate moving in together in late 2021 or in the first half of 2022. So that's our development timeline in a nutshell. This is part of a much larger timeline, and there's a lot of information on this particular slide, but this is the typical co-housing development process. And the main takeaway that we wanted to leave you with here is that all of the boxes in green are steps that we've basically already gone through as a community. We are rounding the corner into the last stretch of the project, which is the completion of the completion of the design and the beginning of the construction process. So a lot of successes already under our belt, and under the advisement of a wonderful team of professionals that's really working hard for this project to make it successful. So this is not a do-it-yourself project. Far from it. We have nearly finished hiring most of the people on this list here. So professionals who are experienced in the kind of development that we are doing here and that are really guiding our community to make the best possible decisions so that the project can happen quickly, cost effectively, and to end with quality results. So we're very proud of our professional team that's assembled here, and we're certainly happy to give you more information on who we're working with. A few people that we just wanted to highlight because they are really a core part of our team right now is our design team. So Treehouse Village has hired rad architects, Raylene Hill and Megan Lloyd, and their wonderful team. They are our primary architects for this project. They're based in Dartmouth, here in Nova Scotia. And they are working together with a co-housing specialist firm out of Boulder, Colorado called Caddis, and a landscape architecture firm called Brackish, also based in Nova Scotia. And so these design professionals are really leading this incredible design process that we've gone through as a community and that we are now in the final stages of. And Kate is going to say a few words about what it's felt like to move through that process.
Yeah, so in summer of 2019, our architects started taking us through a really collaborative, community-led design process, which is one of the things that makes co-housing unique, is the degree of involvement by the future residents. So we started by looking at the site itself. This is the 15-acre piece of land that we have purchased. And we were looking at everything from the topography to how light enters to where water moves on the site. From that, the architects were able to determine where the homes would be best placed, which is the yellow area that you see on this map. So that really became our focus, is within this area to put the development. We then went on to our design weekends. We went through 4 weekend workshops with our architects, and it was really interactive. There were all sorts of different activities that we did to really get the community's desires and wishes out and hear our architects' feedback on what could work or what might not work based on our site, and also based on all the co-housing wisdom that they've and housing development wisdom they have over the years. So this activity was super fun. They brought little wooden blocks and buttons and pipe cleaners and cutouts of gardens and driveways and parking, and allowed us to just play with those on the site. And we came up with, I think, 9 different options for what this community, how it might be arranged. And they took that all into consideration and came back to us with a starting concept of what this community could look like. And that starting concept was the idea of having the homes clustered sort of in two rows around a common green, that pedestrian focused green, with the common house at the apex. So while this was an early concept, things have evolved since then. The concept itself of having the site arranged in this way has stayed consistent throughout. This is an early site plan of the development, showing how the driveway comes in and then off to the side to pull the parking away from the people, and the pedestrian focused common green, from which all homes align or come off the common green. You can see in orange is the common house at the apex. There's community gardens there and a large patio. Behind the common house is the workshop, which has been a priority for our members. And you can see other features on this image, such as a meadow and an orchard, interested in planting fruit and nut trees and bushes. And then this particular image actually just shows about half of the site. The other half of the site will remain as forest. And so, opportunities for trails and tree houses and a fire pit. Our son wants to make a zip line. So all of that, opportunities for that exist. And this image also shows you on the right-hand side, the rail to trail, which borders the property. So yeah, and this is an early rendering of what it might look like to look down the common green towards the common house at the end. And you can see here the pedestrian focus, the opportunity for social interaction, opportunities for gardening and green space mixed in. And this is really the heart of the neighborhood here. So please click on the next video to discover more about Treehouse Village.
Next up, part 5, the design. For more information on Treehouse Village eco-housing, see our website at treehousevillage.ca. We still have space for future neighbors.